Hello, and welcome to Spook and Lore, a Wayward Spirit Media podcast where every week we will cover a new spooky story filled with ghosts and lore. Did you know that the Union Station in Kansas City is haunted? Well, it is, and that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. I actually went here not too long ago and I brought my EMF meter and it went off a couple times, so that was fun. It has been said that at the Kansas City Union Station, the piano in the entrance of the building starts playing on its own at night. Employees say that they've even seen a woman in black that walks back and forth through the lobby, and another woman walking as if she's catching a train. And though there have been many ghost sightings and strange occurrences, one of the most famous ghosts in the Kansas City Union Station is Frank Nash. Back on June 17th, 1933, it was your typical busy morning with people catching trains and meeting up with their families. When all of a sudden, in the parking lot, there was a flurry of machine gun fires. And by the time the gunman was done, 5 people died and 2 were badly injured. It wasn't noticed at first through all of the chaos, but 6 of these people were actually police officers. And the 7th person was Frank Nash, one of the most famous bank robbers from the Depression era. He escaped prison, and the police officers were trying to take him back when the shots rang out. And one landed in Frank's head. He did also have a nickname, which was Jelly, because he could escape any prison. And though Frank died that day, his spirit is thought to still be lurking in the Kansas City Union Station. In 1913, Frank Nash committed several small burglaries around the Hobart area. He had a suspicion that one of these accomplices was actually a police officer, so he killed him. Nash was actually arrested and went to trial, but he actually got acquitted. He then murdered a witness who testified against him, and then he actually was convicted and got a life term at Oklahoma's McAllister State Prison. But Nash was such a good prisoner that in 1918, his sentence was shortened to 10 years. And when he got out, he kept burglarizing and got arrested again in October of 1919. He was actually a suspect in a bank heist that was pulled in Cordell, Oklahoma. And magically, the charges were dropped. He then put together a group to rob a bank in the community of Corin, Oklahoma. He was arrested and went to jail again in the same McAllister prison to serve 25 years. But again, he got another reduction to his sentence. And on December 29th, 1922, they shortened his sentence again to only 5 years. And when he got out, he did not stop robbing or murdering. He was thought to be a part of the Al Spencer gang. And on August 20th, 1923, they actually held up a train in Osage County, Oklahoma. They stole $20,000 in cash, and he remained on the run until 1923. In 1923, he was actually found in Mexico working as a ranch hand. And again, he got arrested for the train heist. And on March 3rd, 1924, Nash was sentenced to 25 years again in Leavenworth for robbery and assault. And because Nash was such a model prisoner every time he'd gone to prison, they made him a trustee, which is a prisoner who is given special privileges or responsibilities in return for good behavior. So in October 1930, when they gave him outside privileges, he calmly just walked away from the prison and left and escaped the prison. And after that, not much is known about what Nash's whereabouts were, But there have been some rumors of him being in several gangs and continuing to rob and assault and murder. And in 1933, he actually got plastic surgery to straighten his nose and bought a toupee to hide his bald head. Also, not to get caught. But they ultimately ended up finding him in Kansas City, and the police officers who caught him actually had a hunch that his friends may try to help him escape. So they wanted to keep the route a secret on how they were going to get him back to Leavenworth. And as they all got in the car at the Kansas City Union Station, the police officers heard a voice saying, "Up, up, get him up." And when they look up, they see 3 men with machine guns pointed at them. And then, without a second thought, Nash yelled, "Let them have it." And they all started pulling the trigger of their machine guns. And Nash was still inside the car, and he was trying to get his friends to get his handcuffs off his wrists, and he kept screaming, "Don't shoot me, don't shoot me." But that stopped suddenly when bullets started firing through his head. And after this happened, this was dubbed the Kansas City Massacre. And now, Frank Nash's spirit refuses to rest at the Kansas City Union Station. To this day, there are local stories and legends on how Frank died. Some think that it wasn't his friends who killed him. Some think that one of the agents killed him before his friends started shooting. Some think that his friends were double-crossing him on purpose. And we may never know what really happened, but maybe that's why Frank's soul refuses to move on from the Kansas City Union Station. Employees and train catchers have said that they have seen a man that wanders through the Kansas City Union Station. Some people reported seeing a figure of dark men in suits outside the building where the massacre took place. And when people approach these men, they seem to vanish. There have also been stories of footsteps being heard outside the building. People have seen Nash's ghost at several different locations in the Union Station, at daytime and at night. It seems his spirit is stuck there for eternity. Thank you so much to listening to Spook and Lore. If you want to know where I got this information from, there are links in the show notes, as well as links to merch and Instagram and socials. So check that out if you would like. We are on Instagram at Spook and Lore. And thank you so much for listening. Bye.